Well, here we go. A very good morning to you, pilgrims, on this, the 25th day of February 2019. Cricket Day. Yeah. I expect that a lot of you are probably going to be on the way to Queen's Park now. I wouldn't be too surprised if there was some camping out there earlier on this morning as well. Yeah, man. Today, the first of the two one-day matches, Windies versus England. And I certainly hope you guys have a great time down there. Now, if you're going to be heading down to Queen's Park a little later on, and I've been corrected on this several times, I've been told it's not Queen's Park, it's the National Stadium. Okay. If you're going to be heading down to Queen's Park, take along your smartphone with you, okay? Because you guys can watch the next hour on your smartphones. A lot of people do, believe it or not, a lot of people. Well, see, I know one person who's not going to be going down there, and that's Peter Bishop, because he's saying good morning to you folks already from Brooklyn, New York. So Pedro is not going to be heading down to Queen's Park. But earlier on this morning, a short while ago actually, I took a look at Facebook, just to catch up on what's going on there. And there was a picture of our good friend, Anthony DeRiggs. You know he's in town, right? And Anthony is all decked off with hat and all. Down to his hat is blue. Blue shirt, blue this, blue that, blue everything. So if you see this blue object moving around down at Queen's Park today, Anthony DeRiggs. So now that I've identified him, take a look. Introduce yourself. Say, yeah, man, George told me to say howdy to you. Okay? Okay, Bernard Gilbert is also saying good morning to you folks. Let's get cracking here. This morning, I have a very straightforward lineup for you this morning. The first segment has captured renewed hope for SpiceMas Corporation. Now, hold on. For those of you who were with us yesterday for Sundays with George Grant, you probably heard this, and I stress heard, because I only had the audio, and what I did was I pasted a couple of photographs of the gentleman on top. But I have now been able to obtain the actual video version of the address that was delivered by the new chairman. I keep saying chairman, it's Chief Executive Officer of the SpiceMas Corporation as things start heating up for SpiceMas 2019. His name is Kelvin Jacobs, and you're actually going to see him this morning as he made his debut. We do have the national report for you. Well, that should make a lot of you happy. Good morning, Margaret. See, Margaret's just popped up there as well. Then, an addition, I guess you can call it. We're going to welcome another voice from Carriacou to Gudday Grenada. The lady's name is Valerie Thompson. But, tell you right off the bat, Valerie is not going to be sitting here. She's actually in Carriacou. And we decided to do a test run last night, to see how things are going. They've been having an awful lot of problems in Carriacou with their internet service. And so we decided, you know what? Rather than take a chance this morning and wind up with really screwy internet service, why don't we pre-record the segment? So that's what we did. Spoke with Valerie for about 20, 22 minutes or whatever. And we're going to run that by you this morning. Very interesting conversation. Got heated at one point, but so be it. So let's get into the thick of things here. You're about to meet the new Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada SpiceMas Corporation. gentleman by the name of Kelvin Jacob. On his behalf, the GIS circulated this address on Friday, and in light of the opinion piece, which was published in a recent edition of the New Today, and which was actually read on this program, I felt that it was important that I share this with you as well. So, here comes Mr. Kelvin Jacob.
Fellow Grenadians, now that the suspense of who will be the next CEO of SpiceMas Corporation is over, the questions most prominent on the minds of carnival enthusiasts are who exactly is Kelvin Jacob, and what are his plans to make carnival bigger and better? First things first, I am a teacher by profession and a culture enthusiast by nature and training. I hold a master's degree in carnival studies from the University of Trinidad and Tobago, a bachelor's degree in business administration from St. George's University, and a certificate in education from the University of the West Indies. I have been an educator for 28 years, having begun my career at my alma mater, St. Joseph's Roman Catholic School in Pomerose. I then moved on to Presentation Brothers College, where I held positions as head of the business department and vice principal. With such a long and fulfilling career in teaching, there was much deliberation about leaving the fraternity and taking up the position of SpiceMas CEO. However, like teaching, my involvement in culture, not just carnival, spans over 25 years. I have worn many hats as member of the Grenada National Folk Group, costume designer and maker, adjudicator, founder of Ignite Mass Band, and manager of Roots Calypso Tent. I acted as chairman of Virgin Parish Cultural Organization and have published articles on carnival arts, especially in the area of carnival history. Taking up the job of CEO has also meant discontinuing my involvement with Ignite, an organization I founded. But I was willing to do this to make a contribution on a bigger scale to the development of carnival in general. As CEO, it means too that I have essentially put myself up for public scrutiny in an office which never ceases to embody the cliche, carnival is bacchanal. I am well aware that this is not a job for the faint-hearted. However, given my experience and training in the field, coupled with my genuine passion for all things cultural, I boarded the carnival ship bound for an office at the GCNA Commercial Complex, Kirani James Boulevard. The journey from henceforth may not always be one of smooth sailing, but you can rest assured that this captain will steer this ship along the path that will bring greatest benefit to the people of this country. Grenada's carnival has been celebrated here since the Europeans occupied the island in the 17th century. During this slave trade, elaborate balls were hosted on the plantations. The slaves mimicked their owners and did their own celebration, praying for liberation. This grew after emancipation to what it is today, a carnival that is indeed a festivity rooted in our rich tradition, embodying the artistry, creativity, uniqueness, vibrancy of you, our nation's people. I share with you this brief background on carnival to remind us all that SpiceMas is bigger than you, it's bigger than me, and it's bigger than any one organization. As your humble servant, I promise to serve with dignity, tolerance, integrity, accountability, transparency, and of course enthusiasm for the growth and development of the art form. I am cognizant of the fact that carnival is not possible without the key players or stakeholders. As such, it is my mission to inject all stakeholders with the positive fortitude necessary to make our premier festival an epic one. I am, however, mindful that I cannot do this alone. I am not asking for pity, sympathy, or empathy. I am asking that we as a nation a culturally conscious people join hearts and hands to work in tandem to ensure we have a product that we can all be proud of. My appeal to you is to make a positive difference in whatever sphere of influence you have on our carnival product. Produce great music. Design and showcase mind-blowing costumes. Arrange sweet music for the pan. Execute events and parties with class. And most of all, give your patrons value for their money. I invite tent leaders and managers to restructure the operations of the Calypso tents in an effort to attract greater participation and audience. I appeal to the senior and seasoned Calypsonians and soca artists to re-enter the competitions. Carnival is not the same without you. Moreover, we need you to mentor the younger ones as they strive to better their craft and improve the legacy of this great art form. Old mass players, please come out of retirement. Your portrayals are just as important as the jab in our unique Juve. Above all, I implore you to infuse creativity in your creations as we seek to transform our carnival from good to great. To our Grenadians in the diaspora, the contributions you make to the development of carnival and culture are invaluable. I encourage you to keep the culture alive out there and keep supporting various art forms in Grenada. We love it when you come to SpiceMas and bring your friends with you. And we are ready to welcome you again for SpiceMas 2019. I also appeal to the business community to be receptive to our call for sponsorship and partner with us. We thank you for your past contributions. Undoubtedly, your sponsorship dollars go a long way in driving the success of SpiceMas. Once Carnival is launched, I encourage all business owners to decorate your establishments with Carnival costumes and themes to embody the vibes and spirit of Carnival. I beg those of you with a platform to disseminate information to find new and creative ways to inspire your audience while reporting responsibly and commenting sensibly on the facts. With the advent of social media, many who would not have had an opportunity to voice their opinions have found a great platform to do so. However, reckless use of this medium, or any communication medium for that matter, can only serve to defeat its very purpose and bring bad publicity to our carnival product. It has started already, and I know the desire to meet with me for an interview or to talk on aspects of carnival will continue. Let's not meet about this just for meeting's sake, as we just do not have the luxury of time. But come armed with these ideas and feasible proposals as to how we can further enhance the carnival product. As we get down to the business of planning, coordinating, and managing the events of SpiceMas 2019, let's have realistic expectations, as my appointment as CEO comes 3 months before the launch of Carnival and 5 months before our Carnival activities begin in earnest. I must admit that I am quite delighted that my appointment to this position comes at a time when SpiceMas is on a high. There are many more mass bands on the road. Many of our shows have seen growth in spectator attendance. Visitor arrivals have increased significantly. Many promoters have come on board with events that bring life to the festival. And our Juve and Monday Night Mass continue to be second to none. Moreover, our Soca Monarch competition is now the biggest and best in the region. Thanks to the artists who are spreading the music like wildfire regionally and internationally. It is quite evident that over the years our festival has realized significant growth and is well on the way to becoming the most sought after carnival in the region. However, as a corporation, we cannot become complacent. To this end, we will continue to focus on raising the bar. Special emphasis will be placed on our traditional mass, our juve, and our major shows. Our overall standards and services across the carnival industry. In 2019, we must replicate and build upon our past successes while at the same time improving the areas of shortcoming. I couldn't end this message without addressing the elephant in the room, my positions with Ignite and Roots Calypso Tent. For the record, I have stepped down as CEO and manager respectively of the two organizations. They will, however, continue to make their contributions to Carnival under new leadership. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to the Board of Directors for the confidence in my ability to carry out this important role of steering this Carnival ship. I thank the past CEO, Mr. Kirk Seethahal, for his contributions to SpiceMas and the foundation he has laid from which I can now build. To my family and friends, I thank you for lending me your ears as I weighed the options in accepting this position. And to you, the general public, I am immensely grateful for your congratulatory messages and confidence in my ability to do this job. I crave the indulgence of all as we walk together in unwavering support for SpiceMas 2019, ensuring the success of all activities and the further growth and development of this magnificent product we call Carnival. I thank you.
Well, come on. Let's be honest. That was an impressive introduction, wasn't it? Come on, whether you're a big fan of Carnival or not. Mr. Jacob, I certainly do wish you the very best. You're going to have your hands full. And I want the public to remember that, you know, the success of SpiceMas doesn't just depend on you. You may be a good leader, and that will be seen. But it depends on everybody in this country to work together. And let's hope that you can bring the people together to accomplish the objectives that you have set out there in that very impressive address. Okay, thank you very much. Let me turn now to Facebook and say good morning to the gang. Fitzroy says, let's thank God to see another Monday. Hey, Fitzroy, how about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah, Friday. Thank you, Fitzroy. Mickaman Alexander is also wishing you folks, us folks, a blessed day. Wayne Peters says, greetings. We're looking forward to the 8th annual Sister Peters fundraiser this Sunday. I don't know about that, Wayne. You might want to tell us a little bit about it. Kipling is also sending God's blessings to us. And Margaret says, now that's better. She's referring to the fact that this morning she was able to see in person Mr. Jacob rather than static pictures, which we showed yesterday. Benedict Cador is saying howdy. Jennifer Myers is saying blessed morning to you, George, and all of our fellow listeners. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you. She goes on to say, love one another. Let's all do something good for someone today. Absolutely, Jennifer, and every day. Thank you so much. T.F. Richards saying good morning to you guys. Benedict Cador says, well said, Mr. Jacobs. See, I'm not the only one. I think this gentleman hit the nail on the head there. Fitzroy Adams says, are you going to let the public know what is the result of the investigation of the panorama? You know, that's why I said a little while ago, Fitzroy, it doesn't just depend on him. okay? And the people of Grenada. It depends on the government, or like Margaret usually says, the grabament. Okay? Very good question, Fitzroy. And let's see if he may be able to do something to stimulate a release of the outcome, if there was in fact an investigation. Let's see if he will be able to get that information to us. Margaret says, I'd like to know how he defines reckless use of social media. Yeah? Okay, Margaret. You know, he did promise me that he's going to come in here and chat with us one of these days. And you can fire that directly at him. Make a note. Lori Bridgman says, good morning. We'll put together... Oh, okay, I think she meant well. Well put together, brother. I wish you all the luck in taking the art form to the next level. Let's all join Lori in that wish. T.F. Richard says, well said, brother. I hope that it wasn't a paper address, but an address that would be accompanied by the action stated. Hey, ain't we all wishing that, TF? Absolutely. Kipling says, I am truly impressed with such a great statement. Now, I look forward for action to support those words. Good luck. Wish you all the best. Isn't it interesting that obviously on the minds of you people out there, you have heard a lot of promises before, and seen nada happen, nothing, okay? And so I can understand the cynicism on your part. I can. But we cannot live the rest of our lives being cynical. If we do, we make those people who are impeding progress in this country the victors. We ain't gonna do that, are we? Absolutely not. Okay, yeah. Where are we now? Let me see. Okay, let's take our first little break here, and we'll come on back. I bet you guys are taking a deep breath and waiting for Friday's edition of the National Report.
Grenada to make a transition to a semi-autonomous National Statistical Institute. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, February 22nd, I am Sherry Ann Noel. Grenada could soon transition to an independent, semi-autonomous National Statistical Institute, which will serve as the premier source of official statistics in Grenada. This forms part of Grenada's commitment towards operationalizing the Regional Statistical Development Strategy. Details to this story and more. The plan was announced by Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, when he addressed a high-level advocacy forum on statistics on Friday.
The government in Grenada is in the process of operationalizing this RSDS through the modernization of the National Statistical Office. Fundamental to this process is the transitioning to an independent, semi-autonomous National Statistics Institute. Government's vision, therefore, is for the Statistical Institute to be highly professional, very responsive to the needs of all users, and thus highly and widely respected as the premier source of sound quality official statistics for this country.
Dr. Mitchell emphasized the important role the Institute will play in the production of timely quality statistics in keeping with international standards.
We have to ensure, therefore, that statistics produced by this institute are timely, relevant and accurate, and it is produced in accordance with international standards and the UN fundamental principles of official statistics. We strongly believe that this new institute with the right structure, the right infrastructure and the right resources will be able to meet the demands of the ever-changing economy. I must emphasize the importance of standards for statistics, which should be at the heart of this National Institute and which would be in line with the Carriacou RSDS. Hence, appropriate training and hiring of skilled personnel would be critical to developing the cadre of persons required to produce quality statistics.
The high-level forum was held under the theme Investing in Statistics to Build Resilience and to Achieve Sustainable Economic Growth and Development in the Caribbean Community. Deficiencies in data collection and analysis have hindered the ability of CARICOM leaders to make sound decisions. That concern was raised by Grenada's Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, when he addressed regional statisticians on Friday. He says the Caribbean has made progress in quantitative data, but more needs to be done in qualitative collection and analysis. He says this deficiency affects the ability to make fact-based decisions and measurements of progress.
It is extremely practical for us to invest in the area of statistics and the qualitative and quantitative aspects of it. It is unfortunate the statistics development has not been given the attention it deserves in the region. We could do a lot more. I strongly believe that regional economies could have been far more advanced in terms of sustainable development had we adequately invested in our statistical systems to obtain data required for more effective decision making.
Dr. Mitchell challenged statistical development partners to invest more in capacity building that can lead to the regional strategy being operational.
Therefore, I make a clarion call at this time to all developmental partners, regional, international, as well as our private sector stakeholders, who are also key users and beneficiaries of statistics, for greater investment in statistics through the funding of the statistical activities and the capacity building initiatives. This will also contribute to building a sound national and regional statistical system.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to Pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26 February on the Carriacou in St. George's. England versus the West Indies, Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carriacou is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely Cricket Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
As the LOC prepares to host the third and fourth ODIs at the National Cricket Stadium on February 25th and 27th, Grenadians have been weighing in on the economic benefits of hosting the game. A young farmer, a taxi driver, and a vendor all share their opinions on the impact of the games on the economy.
I feel for the longest while, nothing no going on in the stadium. So I feel it's a good income for Grenada that everybody will come out and enjoy themselves, and a big revenue will come into the country.
John Francis. It's a sports I like, you know, like to watch it.
Do you think it would help generate much needed income?
Yes, yes.
Well, my name is Mark Dowell Morris, and I grew up right in River Road, right by the stadium. Cricket is a lovely sport. I love cricket more than football, so it's a good thing.
Francis Gilbert from the Grenada Taxi and Tour Guide Association.
Grenada?
Well, as for me, I feel proud about it because first and foremost, I think it will bring more revenue in the country. And as for me, I'm excited to see the match because regardless to how West Indies play, whatsoever they do, I will support them 100%.
President of the Grenada Cricket Association, Dwayne Gill, says they are doing everything possible to ensure that patrons turn out to the stadium and show support to the men in maroon on February 25th and 27th.
We have a number of persons that we pay to run the games in terms of the security forces and the people at the gates and so on. There are a number of volunteers. I don't recall the number, but there will be volunteers, assisting with the seating and those types of things. So that's in place. We expect them, to be here. We treat them very well. We treat them very well. So the normal services with the volunteers, and you'll see a lot of familiar faces because there's a group that goes around and volunteers in all the different activities and so on. So we're quite happy that they will be here.
Both the English and Windies cricket teams are expected on the island on Saturday and will be housed at the Radisson Grenada Resort. And finally, young people in St. David were given an opportunity to engage in discussion aimed at providing feedback to policymakers at the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts in their quest to give them a voice. Be inspired by bridging the gap between the elderly and the youth was the theme chosen for the session held on Thursday, February 21st at the Lasajas Natural Works. Acting Youth Coordinator Royden Bihari says collaborative effort is key in planning and delivery of programs and projects, with emphasis placed on the holistic development of the youth.
We are here to work together as a team because we believe if you meet us on the halfway mark and the ministry meets you on the halfway mark, I'm sure there is quite a lot that we can achieve as a ministry, as a government, and most of all, as a country. And on that note, I want to speak for a very short time because my role today will be to listen, to engage, to hear from you, and most of all, to take whatsoever is coming out of this session to see how we can factor it into our planning at the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts so that we can deliver better for our nation's young people.
Panelists Honorable Michael Pear, Speaker of the House, encouraged participants to take opportunities to develop seriously and persevere.
What is important is that you do not get stagnant. My thing is don't get stagnant. Don't stay one place too long because there is always room. There is place on top. So what you have to do is to prepare yourself here to go there. And as you reach there, you prepare again to go there. So never stay one place.
With this, we come to the end of the National Report for Friday, February 22nd. Recapping the top story. Grenada to make a transition to a semi-autonomous National Statistical Institute. I am Sherry Noel. Thank you for viewing.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, neighbor.
Here's the bill I asked you to pay for me.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need. And we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs.
They burn less energy, right?
Much less. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
And Grenlec is always advising us not to open the fridge too often.
That's right. And my family washes and irons in bulk.
With fuel prices changing all the time, how do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
So while Grenada can't control fuel prices, I can conserve energy and save money.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Co-op Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank. And there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. I was hoping the GIS might get a passing grade this morning, but there are a couple of comments here. First of all, Bernard Gilbert says, a number of persons, please, Grenadians, please, get with the program and go back to school. Then TF says, why do you have to bring political affiliates on such forums? Why not look for upright persons in the community and so forth? We need to stop this foolishness and get with the program. So says TF. Bernard says, I would really like to know what is the obsession with the use of the word persons. You know, it changes from time to time. Persons is not the only word. There are several of them out there. They change from time to time. T.F. Richards says, maybe it sounds more sophisticated. I don't know. All right, anyhow, you folks weren't too harsh this morning. Pilgrims, it's now 20 minutes. Oh, yeah, 20 minutes away from 10 o'clock. I promised you I would play that segment with Valerie Thompson from Carriacou. Actually, Valerie is Grenadian. She currently lives between Toronto and Carriacou. That's where she was last night when we had this little chat. Well, it's another Monday morning and the start of a brand new week here in Grenada. Very good morning to you, and not only to you, but this morning we're going to say a very good morning and warm welcome to Valerie Thompson. It's a name many of you know. Valerie describes herself as a social activist. You have seen her protesting against certain things that were not very pleasing to her in this country, and she continues to speak out on behalf of those who are either unable to or afraid to speak. Valerie, thank you very much. You're living in Carriacou now. You spend some of your time every year in Canada, and you're also from Grenada. Good to see you, girl. What's up?
Hi, George. Good morning, and good morning to your listeners and your viewers. I'm fine, George. Always better here in Carriacou.
I know you're crazy about Carriacou. I think we both are. Everybody who's been to Carriacou just loves that place. And I guess you guys are getting ready for your carnival right now.
Yes, we are. We are. Everybody's talking carnival now. I mean, we have the different types of calypsos, the groovy, and the I really don't know the differences, but everybody this week coming up is when everything culminates.
Oh, so in other words, carnival is going to be
We
what
have the
this coming
Queen
week?
Show, the what's it called, the Mardi Gras. We having everything this year. I'm
So
planning on taking part in Old Mass.
the old. What are you going to be portraying? What are you going to be
I
portraying?
one of the national issues and one of the issues of national importance. I'm going to portray it on Juve morning.
Is it a secret, or can you tell us?
I think I'm going to keep it under the hat still.
All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Now, what is your latest project? I mentioned. I think everybody knows that on Independence Day you issued a statement, lengthy statement about a major issue which had been of grave concern to you here in Grenada. You were talking about the fact that it seems like we're losing our patrimony here in Grenada, and the place is being sold out. That concern you. What are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on a project using recycled tires. I am making, flower pots, on the side of the road over by in the Bushes Road. If you know where that is, that's the road that goes to Grand Lake. There was a drainage problem, and they put a new drain on there. But so I have decided to fill these tires with soil and paint them. So I'm right now, as a matter of fact, I'm still painting.
Okay.
I'm painting them. I'm trying to get it completed by in time for Carnival.
The national colors, I would imagine.
It had been
No,
said
no,
as-
I'm putting
as a
them
new
only
dome.
in the yellow, the road mark in yellow.
Okay.
Because it's a deep drainage state. Yeah.
Some time ago, you also took on an issue about our internet service and flow. And it's so ironic because, the quality of video that we're getting from you right now is just awful, 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 awful. I'm hearing you pretty good. I can understand what you're saying, but the video is the pits. And what was so ironic is that this past week I happened to be flicking through some channels on television here, and there was Flo boasting about they have now completed the work that they're doing in Carriacou. Well, if they've completed the work they're doing in Carriacou, and this is the kind of service that we're getting, we are up a creek, girl.
Yes, we are. And it was 2 years ago. I had that national silent protest against flow. It was simultaneous on 5 locations. And although some people came out, enough people didn't come out. But now people are complaining more than ever.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if you've
Yes.
ever watched Channel 2 on their cable system, but all you hear is about the great work that they're doing to increase internet speeds and improve the service and reliability that they provide to the Grenadian people. And this is what we're getting? Shoot.
That's right. That's right. And and appealing to the NTRC doesn't help. Because
NTRC, my foot.
Yeah, nobody seems to be looking out for the consumer in our country.
And that's pathetic, isn't it? Because the first opportunity they get, they stand in front of television cameras and microphones and talk about all the great work that they're doing and mamaguying and bamboozling the people of this country. I find that so pathetic. But I think it's happening because we allow it to happen.
I believe so, because I keep thinking that they have not even completed the merger between cable and wireless and flow. Because if we were to have to want to pay for two different services, for example, telephone and internet, we have to make by check. We have to write two different separate checks, one to cable and wireless and one to flow. I don't know how the authorities could allow company to operate like that. You remember the merger from a few years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still cannot go into flow and write one check. You have to write two separate checks. My telephone bill goes to cable. The check has to be written to cable and wireless. And if I were to be paying for internet, for example, or any other service, I have to write it to flow.
Yeah.
Tell me if how could the authorities allow that?
What authorities? These companies are running roughshod over the so-called authorities we have here. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it because it's the damn truth, and the people of this country know what's going on.
I am still to find out what's the purpose of the NTRC, though.
Well, supposedly they are to regulate the telecommunications industry. And they were given authority as well to in a peripheral way, manage the broadcasting spectrum, of which they know diddly squat about. Absolutely nothing. And they have made a mess of it, an absolute mess, just like they're doing with telecommunications. The IP providers in this country, the big guys, they're laughing at these guys. They're laughing at them. Because they know that they have no authority, they have no know-how, they just run them around in circles. It's pathetic, Valerie, it's pathetic. And what is our government doing about it? Well, how could they do anything when they know diddly squat as well? And the pride will not allow them to seek help. There's a lot of help out there, a lot. But they want to keep things this way so that they can keep control over like the broadcasting media. And, they certainly don't have control over the IT providers, but at least over broadcasting, yeah. Anyhow, so much for these guys. I mean, it just makes me so sick. I don't even want to waste any more time on it. Valerie, what else? Now, since you are since you're retired and have a lot of time on your hands, I imagine that you already are probably planning the next project after the one with the tires. What else are you going to take on?
Yes, I am going to be launching later on the year. I want to launch a campaign for local government here in Carriacou.
Okay.
Because everybody is crying out for it. Our parliamentary representative said that she wants it badly too. So hopefully we would be able to work to collaborate and get local government for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I don't know how soon. I can't but as soon as she's ready, we are all ready. But I hope to be doing campaigning on that.
Where have we heard this before? Where have we heard politicians promising local government before? Come on, Valerie. I know you're a smart lady. Promise me you're not going to hold your breath. I don't want to lose you so soon. Seriously. Years, Valerie, years. Pardon me?
I'm still hoping. I'm thinking positive. I'm being very hopeful, and I'm thinking positively. Because the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique really want a local government more than ever now.
And they've been saying that for years. For years, Valerie.
Yes.
So, okay. I admire you. I'm glad that you're being optimistic. And I'm not being cynical. I'm being realistic. Anytime you want to change my attitude, and this is a mindset, anytime you want to change my attitude, just deliver on what you tell me you're going to do. And we'll be the greatest of friends. But as long as I keep getting this BS year after year after year, how can I be? You know, just show me some change. Show me that something is happening. Yaman, I will go to the ends of the earth for you. But until such
I would not relent. I would keep on it, and I will keep you posted as to how this one is going with local government. I know it's kind of quiet now, but I believe that our parliamentary representative is working on it, and we just have to give us some time.
And listen,
I will get back.
if you're willing to work with that lady, I am very, very encouraged, because obviously it's a sign that I respect you, and if you say something is happening, I believe you, Valerie. Okay?
Yes, I spoke to her, and she told me she's working on it, and it's only fair that I give her a little bit of time. But I'll keep nudging at her to ensure that she does not forget.
And I respect you for that, Valerie. And let me tell you one more thing. If there's anything that I can do to help along the way with that nudging, count on me, girl.
Yes.
I'm there. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Because
Thank you, George.
we have to support these people. Eh? We make a lot of demands of them. Okay? And demands, but sometimes realistically they cannot meet. But I think both you and I also know that they give us a lot of bubble, a lot of promises that they know damn well they can't keep. Okay?
Yeah, it's true. That's true too. But it's only fair for us to give her a chance. I take her word for it.
Absolutely. And I am so, like I said, I'm very encouraged to hear that coming from you. So please, let us know how we can help to make that happen. All right?
Yes, I will.
So you're also spending
certainly.
you're also spending some of your time in Canada, aren't you?
Oh yes, by the end of April, I would be going back. I just lost one of my brothers in the past week, and so everything is up in the air for me a bit now. But by the end of April, I hope that I'd be able to go back to do as I have planned.
Okay. And you're pretty smart. You ain't no dudder. You come down here when it's nice and cold in Canada, right?
Of course. That's the best time. I go back in the spring. Back in the spring and back in the fall.
Let me ask you something else. Are you ever in Carriacou around the time of the regatta?
No, never. That's in August.
Yeah.
But I am usually back by October.
Okay. And so you're not going to be there for the Maroon Festival either?
Maroon Festival
is in May, isn't it?
When is that again?
I think that's in May.
No. I'd be leaving here. I'd be leaving the end of April. I don't think I'd be here for the Maroon Festival either. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the date.
All right.
I'd be leaving shortly after Easter. End of April, I'd be leaving.
Okay. I bet you're also longing for the day when you can fly into a beautiful international airport in Carriacou. I heard, so, what are you laughing at?
I hear the talk that there is going to be a new airport in Dumfries.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happening there, but I drove in there a couple months ago, just before Christmas. I drove around there, and I noticed there are lots of drains and stuff. So something is going to happen. Something is happening there. Way down in Dumfries, way down past the dump. But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you ever get a chance to go over to Sandy Island?
Yes, I was there in April of 2017.
That's a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember because I got a stone from there, and which I have, and I look at it every day. It was in April 2017 I went, but I looked over there 3 mornings ago. I was going for my early morning walk, and I saw all these lights, and there were yachts, along the coast of Sandy Island. Many, maybe about 12.
I understand that the anchorage there is now being managed, to protect the reef, because there is a reef right adjacent to the island out there. But the reason why I asked is because that was one of my favorite hangouts. It's a little island I have a great love for. Spent a lot of hours up there, and I was just shattered after Hurricane Ivan to see what had happened to that island. The island had been literally broken into two. But they have done a lot of work out there and planted a lot of trees.
Yes, they have. And lots of coconut trees and almond trees. Yes, the residents here of Carriacou did a great job in touring that island. I was pleased to see. But now, when I see so many yachts over there, I'm wondering what's going to happen if they not ruin it again. I'm not sure.
Well, I have heard, and again, I have not been there recently to see it, but I have heard that the anchoring out there is it's now being managed. They've got buoys in certain places, and you're not supposed to drop anchor outside of those buoys and stuff like that. I hope that's not just a lot of hot air. I hope that they're serious about it, because that is a gem. That is a gem.
It is a pretty island.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful island. I like it myself. I spent a day over there one day, like I told you.
Yeah.
But you need to come up and renew these memories you have of Carriacou and the islands, George.
By the way, I know you're throwing a hook out there, trying to bait me into coming. By the way, folks, this is the lady who, for years, I'd been going to Carriacou to do my programs from up there. But it wasn't until this lady arrived on the scene that I actually fulfilled a promise that I would go to Petit Martinique. And one weekend, what year was that? It was about 3 or 4 years ago?
That was, I believe, 2014, maybe?
Wow, so maybe about 5 years ago.
It's about 5 years ago.
It's about 5 years ago. She took me to Petit Martinique, and we had a hoot. I've talked about that so many times on the air. Do you remember the ride? Where was it? From Wynwood over to Petit Martinique? Beautiful ride, right? And that little
the ride.
Little powerboat, right?
The ride back.
It was the ride back.
On the speedboat.
On the speedboat. Oh my gosh. And not just on a speedboat, in pouring rain. It was terrible. But it was a wonderful weekend. And we've been talking about going back up there and doing that again. It's such a blast. And the next time I go, the thing is, there isn't a lot of accommodation on Petit Martinique, but the next time I go, I would like to bring a side of people, maybe 30, 40, 50 people with us, so we could have a blast doing that program from up there. And I've already been looking into it. I've been speaking with Digicel, who is my current provider, and they are uncertain as to whether or not they'd be able to offer the level of service that we need. If we do a broadcast from there, I want it to be better than you and I are having right now, okay? And they're going to see what they can arrange for us to be able to do that.
Yeah. Because the people on Petit Martinique seem to get better service coming out of St. Vincent.
There you go. And let me tell you, St. Vincent is a disaster itself. I have a friend who owns a radio station up there. And every day this man is complaining about the internet service because it's costing him a fortune. His internet's always down, So I mean, this is a regional thing. It's not just Grenada. It's a regional thing, and hopefully, the authorities, quote, the authorities, will wake up one of these days and really give the people what they need. You know?
Well, I mean, I was speaking to one of my neighbors last week, and he said to me, over his dead body will Flo ever get a dollar from him again. He said he'll never again give them his business. I asked him, well, who do you use? And he told me Digicel.
Yeah.
And he's quite...
Yeah. I mean, look at the program we're on right now. You know, since I got that program running in April of last year, up until just before Christmas, the service was horrendous. We lost a lot of viewers and could not attract new viewers because of the quality of the service. Then, just before Christmas, Digicel installed a service here for me. And since then, this thing has been working like clockwork, you know?
Yeah.
So apparently they are beginning to move big time into the internet service. And maybe that's what we need. We need some competition in this place. And then people will snap out of that little cloud that they're hibernating in. Anyhow, Val, listen, girl. I have enjoyed this, your debut. And maybe we'll try it again next week. I'm not holding my breath that the internet service will be any better, but hopefully it may be. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, George, and thanks to your listeners and viewers. And I hope everybody has a great day.
And a great week.
And a great week. Thank you.
And guess what? Great life.
Oh, yes, of course. And that's understood.
Absolutely. Take care, Valerie Thompson. So long.
Okay. Thanks a lot, George. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So just let me remind you that that conversation took place around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock last night. Valerie Thompson, welcome, girl, to Gudday Grenada. And folks, a couple of comments here from Kipling. Kipling says, don't blame Flo for saying that. I was talking about, what Flo is saying on its channel 2, its community channel, about all the work they're doing. He says, don't blame Flo for saying that. It's a pattern. We hear record surpluses, yet we broke. If the priest could play, who are we? And then he goes on. He goes on to say, I think this one's a classic. He says, when you say to a politician that he's talking BS, he feels proud, thinking you mean that he's making a bold statement. That's how misguided some are. That's a classic, Kipling. Pilgrims, almost time to pull the curtain down. But first,
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Quad Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank. And there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Our parting word today comes to you from the book of Luke. Luke chapter 6, verses 27 to 36. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Remember that. Luke 6, 27 to 36. On that note, pilgrims, hold on here. Ashton Fletcher says, good morning once again from Louisville, Kentucky. All we can do is continue to pray for God's mercy on our great nation. Thank you, Ashton Fletcher. What a way to end the program. Thanks for your contribution. Folks, for those of you who are going to be down at Queen's Park at the National Stadium, you have a wonderful day. And I certainly hope the West Indies pull it off. By the way, Glenn Andrew Mark is saying here, good morning, Grenada, and wishing Team West Indies success throughout the match today. Hashtag rally round the West Indies. On that note, Georgie Porgy gone bye-bye. God bless you.